Chris Philp.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. We live in strange political times, both in this country and across the Atlantic, where we frequently hear reports about fake news. I think it is therefore, in those times, particularly incumbent on members of this House, of all parties, to be very, very careful about the way they use and present facts. Because without honest and accurate facts, democratic discourse is impossible, and we undermine our entire system of democracy when elected members of this Parliament play fast and loose with facts. We have heard members in this debate saying that free school meals are going to be reduced. That is the phrase the last speaker used. We heard another member opposite saying that free school meals would be, and I quote, taken away. It is quite clear, those statements are not accurate. Several colleagues have referred to the Channel 4 fact-check discourse on this matter, and the Channel 4 fact-check is quite clear that no children currently in receipt of free school meals will have them taken away, and in fact more children will receive free school meals as a result of these proposals. It is simply untrue. It is simply untrue to say that 1 million children will have their free school meals taken away or reduced. And the opposition front bench and the opposition shadow minister, who I can see chuntering, who has been making comments implying the contrary, is doing our democracy a disservice. Now, perhaps she is trying to insinuate that there is a government policy that would have given extra school meals, but for some kind of U-turn. Well, the Channel 4 fact-check is quite clear about that as well. The government have been quite clear about that. There was an interim transitional measure. The honourable member for West Suffolk, when he was Junior Skills Minister, made that clear when the scheme was set up in April 2013. And the Junior Education Minister, when in post last July, the member for Scarborough and Whitby, made the same point too. So it is wholly inaccurate to suggest that there was ever a hypothetical government policy under which these children would ever have received extra school meals. The honourable lady opposite, the Shadow Education Secretary, has done this House and herself a great disservice. There are many points. She has the right to speak. She has the right to speak, but she ought to take care to be accurate when she speaks, because her words matter. Her words matter, and she should weigh them carefully.
Sorry, a point of order, Angela Rayner, was it?
Mr Deputy Speaker, is there any recourse to me challenging the fact that an honourable member is suggesting that I've misled this House in this debate?
Can I just say, first of all, nobody will mislead this House, because we're all honourable members, and I'm sure that when we come to the wind-ups that everything will be put in its correct order. Chris Philp, have you finished?
No, Mr Deputy Speaker, I haven't, no. Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Now, the honourable lady and her party have suggested that everybody in receipt of universal credit should receive free school meals. That has never been the policy of the government, but it apparently is the policy of the party opposite. That would entail about 50% of school children receiving free school meals. Now, in response to a direct question from the honourable member from Broxtowe, the Shadow Minister was asked how much that would cost and how she would pay for it. This policy goes beyond the policy in the Labour manifesto, and the honourable lady declined to answer the question. I urge her, if she is advocating this policy, as she clearly is, that goes far beyond current government policy, she ought to explain how much it costs and how she'd pay for it, because promising things for free without explaining how you pay for them is a deeply irresponsible thing to do. Mr Deputy Speaker, I can see time is short. I will be supporting the government in this evening's divisions.